Today we're going to be using NightLab, a Northwestern University tool to create a timeline. So what you're going to either do is look up NightLab or NightLab timeline, and if you go to NightLab, you can scroll down and click on timeline. NightLab actually has a ton of really helpful different storytelling tools. Timeline is one of the easier ones to use, and it looks really clean as well. So once you click on it, what we can do is go directly to make a timeline. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab the spreadsheet and you're going to make a copy of it. And once that opens, a couple things. The first thing is this first row, you're not going to touch. This is all in there for a reason. So make sure that you don't delete any columns and you don't touch that first row. So the rows, each row is a different date, is a different data point. So it helps you kind of plot that along, and you see they suggest you really only keep about between 10 and 15 or so points. You can go a couple less. They don't suggest you go a whole lot more. It kind of makes it hard for the readers to see, especially because it's all displayed individually, so it can be hard to kind of keep track of. So for this, I have actually already gone ahead and created a little bit of a usable template, something that's going to make sense. So we can go over here, and you can see I did a little bit of editing. So this first columns A through D are your starting days. So for this, I pulled dates from March 4th, 11th, 12th, and 17th. So that's all lined up. And the year, the end, year, month, day, and time can be used if there are definitive end and beginning and end, but you do not always need that if it's an ongoing thing like this happens to be. So for each one, you're going to follow something similar. So for the data point on March 4th, the headline that I chose was "Students Forced Home from Abroad Due to Coronavirus Promised Reimbursement." And then the text will be what shows up right underneath that. And then the media is really great because you can pull a lot of different things. So whether it's photo, video, or charts, or pretty much any other media elements that you can get a link to, you can put it right there and it will show up. You can also put a media credit if it's not yours, and a caption to go along with the media. To pull the media URL, what you can do is, for example, if we wanted to pull a picture of Elon University, we can go to images, and let's say we like that picture. All we have to do is right click and open the image in a new tab. We can click over to it, and we can just copy and paste that URL into the cell right over here. So we have lots of options. Let's go back to the other page. So right here, we can copy and paste all of the URLs. You can see here I actually pulled a YouTube clip. It's very easy to use. So you can copy a URL from YouTube directly, and it has no issues. And you can also write in a media caption for yourself, whether you want to use a description from the YouTube video or write one of your own. So once you go through and put in everything you need to, what we can do is we go to File, and we hit Publish to the Web. Instead of doing the entire document, you're going to select just OD1. And since I've already published to the web, I don't have the option, but you will hit Publish. Message will pop up. Make sure you hit OK. And then what you also want to make sure you do is you want to close out of this. You do not want to copy the link that's given. So we're going to close that. And we're just going to copy this link. And we're going to go back over to the timeline. And the website also walks you through fairly well how to do it if you're unsure. You go into the URL, you paste the URL, And you also have a bunch of options. So if for some reason you're doing work in a different language, or if you'd like a different font, you have a bunch of font choices. You can choose to start on different pages if you choose. So for this, maybe let's go old standard. We'll start on 0, but if for some reason you have a slide you really want to emphasize, you can start on a specific slide and you can have your reader go back and forth. And then there are a couple other options in it as well. And the great thing is it also gives you a link to share and both embed, so you can put that directly in your story, which is awesome. And then let's preview what it would look like. So this is the image we chose. This is the caption we wrote, the credit that it would go to. This is your title for each specific slide. And then this is the text. So you can see and you can jump back and forth fairly easily. And then also down at the bottom, the nice thing is that it scales. So this happens to be happening in a series of days, but if it is prolonged over a number of years, that timeline will get smaller and easier to use. You can also scroll on this directly so you can see how long things take, which is also very helpful. But if we click over to the right, the same thing where you have the title, you have the text, you have the caption, the photo credit, and you also have the date. This shows how the videos work. Very easy to use, very clean. You can play it directly from here, which is nice.
Out of products like hand sanitizer, face masks, and disinfectant wipes.
You can continue to go over. And then this is the last slide for the example, but you can continue to go. You can see the timeline also moves along with it, which is very nice, and you can drop in links. And as I said, you can do data or you can do video of your own. Lots of good things, and it helps because it tells all these different stories, and it gives you and the reader the opportunity to jump to different things, all while just taking up this kind of given amount of space to tell a broader story. And that's it. Simple as that.